Welcome to the Star Podcast.
Whoa. Star Podcast.
Welcome to the Star Podcast, hosted by Nat. Each week, we share tips and stories from safety, trucking, and recruitment, and everything in between. Listen now. Welcome back to another episode of the Star Podcast. Today I get to sit down with Candace Larsen, who's the Executive Director of One Bowl. And One Bowl is an end-to-end First Nations housing solution which provide culturally appropriate, affordable, and efficient homes. But the way that Candace shares the information, it's so much more than that. And she's so great to speak to because you can really see and hear the passion that she has for her work and for the people that she's working with. So it was really nice to get to know a little bit more about her. She has a really interesting background and she's just a great person. Loved getting to sit down and speak with her and learn more about One Bowl. So please listen now. All right. So I just want to thank you so much for joining us today. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about you and about One Bowl. So welcome.
Thank you so much for having us, Leslie. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So I was hoping to get started for anyone who's not familiar with you. If you can share a little bit about yourself, how you got to where you are today, like some career highlight type things, that would be great.
Absolutely. So my name is Candace Larsen. Currently, I'm the Executive Director of One Bowl Housing Corporation, but I say that my career started long ago with kind of my early stages. I started in marketing, public relations, like 13, 14, 15 in the industry, working for different companies. Then really my exchanges were key. So I actually studied abroad multiple times through both high school and university while I was completing a bachelor's of international business. Those exchanges were pivotal in a lot of kind of what I do today and how I engage and interact in my current job. And then out of university, I went actually straight into the industrial sector. Again, marketing, public relations, but that allowed me to be face-to-face in community. So doing a lot of hiring events, working directly with community members day in and day out. Those pieces were pivotal in shaping not only how we operate One Bowl, but also in just getting me into this role currently.
Yeah, you've had a very full career already and you're still very young. So that's awesome. So can you share a little bit, for anyone who doesn't know, you mentioned One Bowl, but can you share a little bit about One Bowl and what you do?
Absolutely. So One Bowl as an organization is actually a nonprofit social enterprise. So we were started by 3 First Nations communities, so Chapleau Cree, Missinabee Cree, and Brunswick House First Nation, along with their collective economic development corporation as well, Wacotwin. So they all came together really looking to find higher quality housing solutions, so trying to step away from drag and drop factory built homes that were coming into community, and they were trying to step into a housing system or solution that actually trained community members and tapped into local businesses. So as a nonprofit social enterprise, we use thermal log technology, like the homes you can see in my background here. And we use this technology to actually build high quality, culturally and climatically appropriate homes directly within nations. That's actually where Nat comes into our partnership as well, because we actually do all of our health and safety training directly on site in community with Nat and with all of your safety teams. And then through that program, we teach community members how to build their own homes. The idea
Awesome.
Yeah, so the idea there being that we're decreasing long-term dependency on external skilled workforces while we're also increasing the quality and quantity of housing that's coming into communities.
So you've thought of it from all of the angles. That's amazing.
We've tried to, and it stemmed a lot with my past as well, of seeing that a lot of times I saw community members kind of being told that, well, you don't have the conventional training needed to, let's say, get into mining or get into the industrial sector. So go and get that training and then come back and apply again. Or individuals being told they don't have the job experience. But if you're in a highly remote community, it's hard to get that job experience. And it's hard to get that training oftentimes as well. So I took a lot of my past experience and said, okay, what can we do going forward with One Bowl that can provide that base level, let's say, health and safety training for individuals to be job ready, and then go one step further to provide employment and provide training on site that can count as really your job experience as well as you go forward. So idea there, you're either employed long-term with One Bowl or one of our partners, or you have the skills and the experience needed to go into the industrial sector in a different way.
Oh, that's so great. That's amazing. That must be very rewarding, being able to provide those skills and have those people be able to get jobs and things like that. That's amazing.
It absolutely is. It's the reason that I'm able to wake up and do the long hours a lot of times, honestly.
Do you have any like highlights at One Bowl, or any like particular story that stands out that you carry along with you?
Yeah, so, and there's actually a video that we play time and time again, and it's from our Missinabie Cree project. It was a housing resettlement project that Missinabie Cree First Nation undertook, and really this project entirely was one that was community driven from start to finish. They custom designed every single unit. They custom designed where they and how they wanted the lots. The community was involved start to finish in bringing this housing project forward, but they undertook a 6-unit thermal log project. They brought in community training, and Nat actually ran all of our health and safety training as well. And I'd say the community overcame a lot of adversity to make that training program and project go forward in itself. It was a housing resettlement project, so one of the very first times the community's building to bring their community back to their traditional lands. During our health and safety training, power went out for about 5 days, and we did all of our health and safety training off of 2 generators. Mind you, none of the health and safety trainers even batted an eye at that, so we have to give credit to Nat for that one. But there was a lot of obstacles to overcome. Community members that were in that training program were driving from, let's say, 6 hours in some scenarios. Some were coming back to community for the first time ever. All of them completed the base 3-week training and then asked for another 3-week extension, then asked for another 2-week extension on the training, and then 2 actually succeeded in achieving long-term employment with the general contractor. All of that, beyond that, they actually then built 6 homes as well. So you see how... So nice. Yeah, so the partnerships create the outcomes a lot of the times, but it was definitely I'd say a career highlight for me to see a community take a project from the very beginning to the very end, overcome a lot of adversity to get to that point as well, but then do so with their own community members and directly within their own community at every stage.
Oh, that's so amazing. And I like that you said you're customizing things and you're making it more of like a home versus housing, it sounds like.
Exactly. That's it. At the end of the day, we all talk about housing as 4 walls and a roof, but at the end of the day, it's far more than that. We always say, especially within communities, that it's the start and the end of everything. So if you have a healthy home, then everything else falls into place and to a certain degree. And if you don't have that healthy, safe, secure home, there's a lot of things that then can't fall into place and that really can derail in the long run.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm coming from the safety side, but I was just wondering, how does safety come into play with your work and your industry in general?
I think safety is honestly the start of everything that we do. Like I said, the large reason that I got into the job that I'm in today is because I saw there were big gaps, and health and safety training was one of the basics. A lot of individuals didn't have it. It equated to big barriers for employment. So at the end of the day, I saw it as the key for individuals to get into long-term employment and long-term opportunity. When we look at thermal log training, I can't start thermal log training until individuals pass health and safety training. And that is because we're on active construction sites. You need to know the basics, and you need to have that safety mindset going into everything that we do. So for us, it's the start of everything, and we see a lot of individuals understanding it now. We had Missinabie training program. The individual said, can we do a level 2 health and safety? Could we do like advanced first aid and some heavy machinery training? And so everyone's seeing the value in it, especially when they're on a construction site, especially with thermal log technology, where a lot of individuals are green, having never been in the trades before. You're needing to learn the basics from the ground up before you can start building a home from the ground up.
Absolutely. So I reached out to Sam Clark because you deal a lot with Sam, and I just said, is there anything that you'd like to ask Candace while I have her on the podcast? And she said, why do you love what you do? That was her question. I liked it.
Well, I'm going to say Samantha knew that one would make me tear up if she asked that question. I love what I do because I get to see the outcomes every day in so many different aspects. So you're not sitting at a desk. I'm the executive director, but I'm on site every day. We're building the homes with our own hands. Last year I was driving individuals to training programs in the morning. And so you get to see their progression through the program. You get to see the positive impacts. You see communities coming back and wanting to build more. You see individuals. I had one individual come up to me and say that it's the first year that he was able to buy his wife a Valentine's present because it was the first year that he had extra income because it was his first time being fully employed and not on any assistance that's then restricting the dollars he has to spend. And I'm sitting there going, wow, something that, like, granted, I would take for granted in many scenarios, but you see that impact day in and day out. And at the end of the day, that's what makes it all worth it. Like, there was times where we were doing 20-hour days, but if that's what you see on the end, I'll do 24. It's okay.
Oh, that's so nice. That would be so rewarding. Oh, that's a really sweet story to share. Where can people find out more about you, find out more about One Bowl? What's the best way to connect?
We have our website, which is onebowl.org. We are in the middle of a major website revamp right now. So within the next few weeks here, we'll have a brand new website out, a lot of virtual tours of our homes and a lot of project highlights so individuals can follow the projects that have been completed by nations in the past. And then from there, we're very active on socials. So One Bowl on Facebook, on Instagram, and on LinkedIn as well. We're always keeping up with all of our builds, all of our training programs, and the events we'll be at. We built a few mini homes that are all mobile, and we actually bring them around to different community events now. So if you're following what events we'll be at, you'll be able to actually come and tour a mini thermal log home. And then if anyone wants to connect with me directly, Candace Larsen on LinkedIn. And yeah, I would love to explore partnerships and collaboration as well.
Amazing. And you also have a podcast of your own, correct?
We do. So it's Rural, Remote, and Ready to Build. So the podcast explores both our organization and another called Rural Impact, who advanced through the CMHC Housing Supply Challenge. It explores a lot of the challenges that we experienced going through a major federally funded program, but then explores a lot of the positives and a lot of the outcomes that come from implementing both of our solutions in rural locations.
Interesting. Cool. Well, everyone will have to go give that a listen. Is there anything else you wanted to add? Anything I didn't ask that you wanted to share with?
Maybe I would end it just with that we're really proud and happy to be a partner with Nat at the end of the day. And so happy to be on the podcast today as well. But we can't stress enough that as One Bowl, we're not every stage of the supply chain, but we have the partners who are those pivotal players at each stage. Nat at its core is definitely one of them for us that makes our community-based solutions possible, and safety at the end of the day is what starts a lot of what we're able to do. So just a heartfelt thank you at the end of the day for the partnership that we have.
Oh, well, that's great to hear. I'll make sure I pass it on, and anyone listening, I'm sure they'll be very thankful to hear your story and just hear a little bit more about One Bowl. It was great getting to talk to you. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Leslie. Have a great day.